Our Spring Sports AD podcast starts today, and we're talking all things Indian Hill Braves with AD Brian Phelps. Good morning, Brian. How we doing?
Good morning, Rob. Doing great. Our last day of spring break before we get back at it, and it's good to be back.
The spring break is a great opportunity for everybody to recharge for this last season before we get to the summer. And for those that get the opportunity to take the break, I'm sure it is extremely beneficial.
You know, it really is. Someone told me the other day that today is our last week that's not a full week until graduation. I feel like we have so many 4-day weeks for lots of different reasons. It's the home stretch, but as you know, the spring season flies by. We're playing something every day, and I'm really looking forward to a great spring. So I'm not wishing it away yet.
Sounds great. Yeah, I remember when I used to coach, it was 27 games in 24 days, so it was like a mad dash to try to get all the baseball games in. And fingers crossed that the weather cooperates with us this spring.
Absolutely.
Let's start with baseball. And the nice thing is that the team got to go south to get some games in Florida, so that when they open the season with Marymount on Wednesday, they've been in game action, not scrimmage action, but they've been in game action already.
Yeah, they were really fortunate to head down to Tampa. Went 1-2 down there. Had some really great competition. I think exactly what they were looking for. Still kind of figuring out some pieces, all those kinds of things. We're really excited about the baseball season, and as you mentioned that, with our scrimmages under our belt and 3 games down in Florida, we're looking forward to get started on Wednesday as we head to Marymount. And then Friday, we're part of the Reds High School Showcase, where we'll play down at the Reds Baseball Youth Academy, and that will also be against Marymount at 5:15. Tickets are $5, but we're really excited to be part of that. They just do a top-notch job. So come out and support high school baseball at the Reds Youth Baseball Academy. If you're not familiar with that, it's by the old Swifton Commons, kind of close to Woodward High School. Turf fields, just a tremendous facility, and it all goes to a good cause.
Yeah, Tom Gamble and his group does a great job running that. They have PA for all the games, and it's well worth the money to get in. And I think you get Skyline coupons, and and I think a Reds ticket voucher as well. So it's well worth the $5. You certainly get a value added for it, and hope the weather holds. And then they wrap the first week up at Western Brown, 11 o'clock on Saturday. So best of luck to baseball as they get going this week locally. Let's switch to lacrosse. We'll start with boys lacrosse. I knew new head coach this year.
New head coach. Yeah, he came. He's actually an alum. Played his college lacrosse at Drexel. Had a really nice career in high school and college. He's a goalie. Has put together a really nice staff. We're a mix of really some beginner players with some good veterans, and it'll be a little bit of a rebuild type of year for us. Starting off 1-3, got a tough schedule this year, but we're excited not only getting this coaching staff off the ground this year, but what the future of boys lacrosse looks like. We've been pretty good for a while, and sometimes you just have a change of pace with your programs, and that's this year. But I really think the future is bright for this program. We'll host LaSalle here on Wednesday and head to Columbus on Saturday to take on Columbus Academy. But there are some really good pieces on this team. The numbers are great. We're over 30. We haven't had those kind of numbers for a while. So like I said, I think the future is really bright, and we're going to do the best we can to get some wins under our belt this year as well.
Great. Well, best of luck to Coach Froelich, and looks like it'd be a nice barometer on Wednesday hosting LaSalle. I think that should be a nice barometer game for you guys hosting at home. So best of luck to them this week. Let's switch over to the girls' side on lacrosse. Because one of the things Indian Hill offers is, which is if you guys have field hockey in the fall and then girls lacrosse in the spring, and there's got to be just a handful of schools in town locally that offer both, right? I mean, there's
Yeah, there's really not a lot. I mean, our league is the GGCL plus Summit, and then we head to Dayton, Oakwood's part of that, Walnut's part of that. So it's field hockey's a tricky one, and lacrosse isn't too far behind. More and more schools are adding girls lacrosse, but in our league in the CHL, there's still not enough teams for it to be a league sport. So we really play as tough of a girls lacrosse schedule as I think you can find. And we've started off 4-0 this year, which we knew that we should be pretty good. We had a lot of returners. I kind of thought, if we're 3-1, that'll be a really good start. 2-2 is probably okay, but to beat teams like Sacred Heart out of Louisville, who's a perennial state champion in Kentucky, to beat Springboro, who's typically one of the best Division I programs in the state,
how
to
about
beat
Saturday's win?
Detroit
Wow.
Country Day, 4 Division I commits, and they were the Michigan State champion. And then we had Turpin in there as well with a nice win, but just a great start. We've been tested right off the bat. We'll go to Walnut on Thursday, and we'll head to Bishop Watterson, who knocked us out of going to the state championship game last year in overtime. So that'll be a great test. And hey, we come back next week and we get Marymount, which is always a great rival and a great game for us. So that the schedule really doesn't lighten up too much for us.
Yeah, that's great. I know I've been up to Detroit Country Day. They actually have a full indoor field that they play in. So with that weather up there, it doesn't even bother them. So that's a huge win on Saturday. Bishop Watterson will be fun. That'll be a nice barometer game for certain. So best of luck to them this week, because it sounds like things are off to a roaring start for sure. Let's go to the Diamond. Back to the Diamond. Let's talk softball. Looks like they open their season Wednesday at Marymount and have Marymount twice this week, Friday at home. So let's talk softball.
Yeah, I think Marymount is a pretty competitive program for us in softball. I would say we're much improved. A mix of some kids that have a couple years of varsity under their belt, and some kids that are new to our district this year. I think will help the program a lot. So excited to see what softball can do this year. Last year we doubled our wins, so we had 4 wins last year, and we think we can improve that win total this year, and excited to get started at Marymount on Wednesday if the weather holds up for us.
And then you'll see Coach Nurl in the dugout writing the lineup card for the Warriors. So that should be a fun experience. So best of luck to the girls, and off to a great season. Let's go to the hard court, see if the boys can match what the girls did in the fall, because that was an amazing girls tennis season. Now it's a boys' turn.
Yeah, tennis for boys and girls every season, there's high expectations. This spring will be just the same. We've had a recent boys state championship. You mentioned our girls state team this year with their championship, and I think the boys have a chance to do it. They're really good. We'll open up at Beaver Creek on Wednesday, and kind of like we were saying with girls lacrosse, the schedule we play is, I would say, as tough of a schedule as we can find. It's just kind of powerhouse after powerhouse, and thankfully, for the most part, we're a powerhouse too. So all those matches will be really competitive, and just excited to see what this season can bring for boys tennis. And as I mentioned before, the expectations are high, and I think these boys can deliver.
As I scroll through your varsity tennis schedule, holy cow, they'll certainly be tested by the time tournament time runs around, because you're playing the elite of the elite in the state of Ohio. So the guys will be ready to go for sure.
It's something they definitely don't shy away from. They want to play the best, and we pretty much will go anywhere to do that. And this year's no different.
Yeah, that sounds great. Best of luck to them as the season starts on Wednesday at Beaver Creek. Let's go and talk track and field. It looks like everything starts up this Wednesday at the Madera Invitational.
Yep, head to Madeira on Wednesday, and then we'll host our relay meet next week. So they'll be off and running, pun intended, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, like our numbers are unbelievable in track and field. We're at like 130 kids, boys
Really?
and girls.
Wow.
Really, I talked about boys lacrosse, their numbers up. Baseball, we have over 40 kids. We have 3 baseball teams. I don't remember the last time we've had 3 baseball teams. Tennis, just the same. I'm really impressed with our community, our kids just coming out, participating. Numbers have just really been skyrocketing for all of our programs, really. But track and field, you had to have numbers in over 100 for our size of school is just a testament to what our coaching staff does and the program that's run here. And we have the opportunity to be really good as well. So it's a mix of all the good stuff.
Brian, that has to be pleasing to you and the administration. You know, the facilities in Indian Hill are top shelf, but the fact that the experience is so great that the kids want to be a part of it, no matter what the sport is, that they want to do something to be a part to wear Indian Hill on their chest, whether it's a singlet for track and field or baseball, softball, lacrosse. It's got to be very pleasing to hear those numbers.
Well, that's part of our job is to try to make the experience the best that we can. We know that we can't make it the best experience for every kid every single time, but as you mentioned, we're going to provide the best facilities that we can. We're going to hire the best coaches that we can. We're trying to provide the best experience possible for our community, and it really goes back to we want families to want to be here at Indian Hill and want to be part of our community, and we're going to do our part to make them want to stay here and flourish and all that kind of stuff.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, thank you as always. We're excited to get the spring show started. We'll touch base next Monday, get some results to regular season events for the spring sports teams. All the best of luck to the Braves teams and have a great week.
Thanks, Rob.